Today we're reading some more Entitled People and it's going to be so fun. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day and I hope you're ready for this. It's a beautiful cozy afternoon, perfect to read about Entitled People. Enjoy, guys. Woman tries to steal our table at restaurant while we're eating. My husband, myself, and our almost 2-year-old were eating breakfast at a very small mum and pop diner that had 8 tables and 2 waitresses. My husband and I were done eating and had paid the bill. My little toddler was of course taking her sweet time and still eating, and we were contentedly sipping our coffees. A rush of people started coming into the door and their wait times gradually increasing with each new table added to the wait list. People waited outside on this day and the waitresses offered them cups of coffee while they waited. A woman entered and said, "I'll sit here," and gestured to our table. The waitress said, "There are other people ahead of you." The woman argued back, "What people? Where are they?" And the waitress said, "They might be walking outside. Can I offer you a cup of coffee to take outside?" And the entitled woman responded, "You can put the cup of coffee on this table." Again, gesturing to our table that we're still occupying. This continued on before finally the woman agreed to be added to the wait list. It was so annoying. I felt bad for the busy waitress to have to deal with her on top of trying to do the rest of her job. Edit to add, my toddler is a person and you all were once people too. We occupied our table for a totality of less than an hour. At this point, we were less than 10 minutes away from being finished. Thinking back, this small diner had 6 tables and a small counter for seating, which is why the wait times became long quick. Some people are slower eaters and for 10 minutes you shouldn't be punished for that. Wow, that's so rude. It's one thing to do this if you're obviously about to leave, but to do it when you're just sitting there showing no signs of leaving? Like, what? Yeah, like this comment says, some people just don't have any common decency. Yeah, that's so ridiculous. Entitled Sister-in-law wants custody of my baby. Background, me 36 female, sister-in-law 40 female. I've been married to a brother for over 10 years and there's always been some jealousy and resentment from her. She's always felt like I had the life that she wanted, not necessarily with her brother, but the marriage and family and job stability, etc. I have 3 kids, 10 female, 8 male, 3 months female. She got married last year and they decided to start trying for a baby, but she was unfortunately told that she can't have children naturally. She was understandably devastated and the family comforted her as best as we could. We recently had a family dinner and in the middle of it she says, "I think it's really unfair that you got to have 3 kids and I can't have any. Your baby is my last chance to raise a child, so I think you should give her to me during the week so I can create a motherly bond with her and you can have her on the weekends." How does somebody even say something like this? Before I could even respond, the entire table erupted with everyone talking at once, so I took my older kids upstairs. When I got back to the dining room, her husband was asking what the hell is wrong with her and why she would even think to ask that. She was trying to justify herself when I asked them to leave. I also said that she's no longer welcome at my house or around my children until she gets help. She started screaming that I don't deserve my life or my children and that I stole her baby from her. Oh my god. Her husband and mother-in-law kept apologizing and dragged her out of the house still crying and screaming. Now my kids want to know why their aunt wants to take the baby. Edit, I've been reading the comments but it's too many to reply to, so here's a few points. 1, we have a security system and cameras already installed and no one has keys to the house. 2, I will not be able to get a restraining order as this one incident isn't enough to justify it. 3, my husband and I spoke to the older kids about it the same night and we'll be having another talk with them to reinforce that sister-in-law is not a safe person anymore. 4, our country does not have the right to bear arms and I also have no interest in getting a gun. 5, I'll be informing the school and daycare of the issue and giving them her photo. For those questioning the validity of the post, I completely understand. If I'd heard about this last week, I wouldn't believe it either, but it's unfortunately the situation I'm currently dealing with. Yeah, wow, that's terrifying. The top comment says, "Jesus, stay safe. At least the rest of the family recognizes her craziness." Yeah, that's a super good point. At least everybody else in the family is fully aware of this. Hopefully things get better because that sounds really bad. You didn't steal their baby and you shouldn't have to feel bad because you have a good life and it's making them feel bad. A kid just found an autographed baseball. I took my 12-year-old daughter to a minor league baseball game. Before the game, she met several players and got their autographs on a ball. They were signing for everyone, so numerous kids got the same. Later in the game, we got up to get food, and I told my daughter the ball would be safe tucked inside our stuff left under the seat. No one else was sitting near us, and I've left stuff like that before many times. A couple of innings after we returned, my daughter noticed her ball was missing. I looked around and I saw a kid 2 rows behind us, holding 2 autograph balls. One of them had red signatures on it, and we were the only ones I saw with a red marker. I got up and I made my way back to him, and I said, "Excuse me?" And the dad immediately said, "Oh, he found this," and the kid handed it back to me. I hadn't even asked for the ball back, so they made it obvious they knew what they'd done. Mind you, the kid already had his own signed ball. Nice job by the dad raising a thief. Oh, 100%, but also it might have been the dad's idea. Either way, that's so bad and not a good thing to teach your kid. Middle-aged Karen parked in the mother parking spot and confronted me about how I'm not entitled to it. Hey there, this happened yesterday at my local Loblaws. Most grocery stores here in Canada have a few expectant mothers parking spaces that are intended for pregnant women or parents with babies to use. They're generally closer to the door, usually beside the handicapped spaces or cart carol. I'm currently 7 months pregnant and I was following a Lexus into the parking lot and I plan to use one of these spaces. The Lexus ahead of me took this space. I didn't think much of it and I parked about 4 to 5 spaces down from it. As I'm walking into the store, the woman in the Lexus mid-60s saw that I was visibly pregnant and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize," and laughed at me. I'm hormonal and it probably wasn't necessary, but I responded with, "You're obviously not that sorry since you parked in a spot that you shouldn't have." She proceeded to get about a foot from me and scream at me, "F you, you're not entitled to this spot." I was caught off guard and I started crying. Not proud of this, but the hormones are intense sometimes. Thankfully, bystanders don't like it when people yell and physically intimidate a pregnant lady, and about 5 people came over to rip her a new one, telling her that she's way out of line and I'm the only person they see who's entitled to this space. One gentleman, my hero actually, called her a Karen and she got back into her car and left. I just don't understand why she felt the need to confront me. Did she think apologizing for her intentionally crappy behavior would make her look less like a Karen? Like, I wasn't gonna say anything, I just assumed she needed it because she had a baby or whatever, but she didn't. So yeah, that's my crazy Karen story. Mild compared to most here, but it was honestly scary. Yeah, I bet, and the bloody audacity. It's awesome that those people had your back though. Neighbor says I was trying to cheat him out of my TV. I'm having a house built, but I bought a TV during Amazon's Prime days. I had it sent to my grandparents' house to be stored until the house is done. The package never arrived, and after a couple of days, the picture from the delivery was on the FedEx side. I sent it to my grandfather, who recognized it was his neighbor. He calls the neighbor, who claims that he ordered the exact same TV and didn't realize he opened mine. I didn't ask him to contact the neighbor. The neighbor says his is coming in the following week and will give me his, as it's the same exact TV. A few hours later, he says, "I called Amazon, who said for me to keep this TV and for you to call them so they can replace it." I tell them that my refund and replacement has already been denied multiple times and that I was told to contact local authorities or law enforcement, but I would call again. The next morning, I call Amazon, who tells me that my claim was denied again and that I should still try to get my TV back since I know where it is. I called the neighbor, who is now saying that he has to send my TV back when he gets his in. I tell him not to, that I want my TV even if it's open. He's an older dude, so I was using yes sir and no sir. I was trying to be polite as he has my expensive TV. He hangs up and sends me a long text about how he has my TV and won't be giving it back. And I just say, "To verify, you're refusing to give me my TV?" He calls me back and says to stop harassing him. So I drive over to my grandfather's house, he's out of town, and I call the cops. After some back and forth phone calls with the cops calling me and the neighbor, they come out. 4 cops showed up because the dude said I'm committing fraud and cheating him out of a TV. After I showed the cops the text where he says he has my TV, pictures of the box that he sent me with my name on it, and when my refund was denied, they went to talk to him. He changed his story for the 5th time to say that I already got a refund and I'm trying to fraud Amazon. End of the day, I got my TV back and the neighbor calls my grandfather. Grandfather calls me saying that I discredited him. He meant defamation. He says that I called the cops on his neighbor and cheated him out of a TV. The neighbor saying that he won't get his package now because he was supposed to keep mine. This old dude was so entitled, he thought he had a right to my TV. I don't even think he ordered one in the first place now. Edit, for those of you curious, the cops were only able to get it back because of our state laws. In most states, they're required to give the package back if the person it was addressed to contacts them. The "you can keep misdelivered packages" only applies if it was addressed to you in the first place. Yeah, like the top comment says, no way that guy ordered the same TV. He was just trying to give you different excuses until you gave up. Yeah, that really is what it sounds like. Evil stepmother wants my baby. Okay, some background. I'm female, 29, English, and I live in Italy with my fiance, male, 37, Marco, Italian, and our daughter, 5 months old, Willow. I moved to Italy after graduating medical school, where I met Marco, and I'm now a resident in one of the hospitals. My father's a crap dad, left my mum and me, and has been very inconsistent. He married Tammy when I was young, and she's never liked me, and she was also never able to have kids. So when I gave birth, my mum's side of the family came over to visit and meet Willow and look after both of us. Nothing from my dad or Tammy. So 2 weeks ago, they turn up unannounced claiming to be in the area on holiday and wanted to meet Willow. She was getting a bit fussy and she combination fed, but as I was home, I grabbed a cover and I let her latch onto me. Tammy says the breastfeeding will have to stop soon. I'm confused and I ask her why, and she said it couldn't be kept up when Willow is with them. Now I'm even more confused and I ask her what she's on about. She shows me pictures of a baby room and says that she would split custody of Willow and not to worry, and she has everything set up already. I just stare at her, but she carries on, claiming that the age gap between myself and Marco is unhealthy for a child to grow up with. Oh, get out of here. She said it was obvious I needed help and she was happy to, and that I was obviously more bothered about working than staying home with my baby, so I should just let her have Willow. What are you talking about? But obviously she wasn't able to breastfeed, so she would have to stop that now. I tell her she can't be serious and think I'm giving her my baby, and she tells me to calm down. She's not asking for full custody, but she could provide a much calmer and stabler home and that I could always visit. She said it's what she deserves. What's wrong with people? Marco pushed everyone out and made sure that Willow and I were alright. Since then, I've been really weirded out and I've been getting texts from her saying that I need to let Tammy prove herself as a good caregiver, and Tammy's been sending loads of photos of the nursery that she made. Just to add so people don't get confused, I'm in Italy but Tammy isn't. They'd flown over here. Yeah, I'm sure weirded out is an understatement. They're asking for your child. How can people like this be serious? I can't believe that. Entitled woman confused on how elevators work. A few days ago, I was at an office building and I went to use their elevator. I was going down. A woman was waiting already and the down elevator came. We both get in. She pressed a floor higher up. I pressed the floor going down. As I did, I told her, just so you know, this is going down. Well, I pressed the button first. Yeah, she yelled at me. I said nothing and I stood in the back. The elevator closed. Lo and behold, it went down like I told her it was doing. She cussed under her breath. As I was leaving, she said, I hope you're happy. Like I made the elevator or something. People are weird. Wow, that's so funny. I hope you're happy. Obviously has no idea how it works. Oh my god, how dare you. Great, you made the elevator go down. That's so funny. Crazy lady accuses me of kidnapping my stepson. Tries to kidnap him from me. So this happened about a week ago and I'm still fuming from this. I'm not sure if this belongs in this subreddit, but here goes. A little backstory. I'm a mixed ethnicity individual. I've been confused for many races over the course of my 29 years on this planet, but I'm literally Caucasian and African American. Usually it can be figured out, but the difference with me is my father is the Caucasian, so therefore my hair is straight. I'm originally from Texas and am usually confused for being Mexican, but now I live in Massachusetts and I've never had an issue with anyone concerning my race until this day. Also, I'm married to a Caucasian woman who had a child before we were married. His father is not in his life as much and I took the responsibility because I love this woman and I love this little boy as if he were my own. He's 4 now and I've been in his life since he was 1. Anyway, my wife needed a few things from the grocery store and she needed to run a few more errands, and usually she just goes and knocks things out herself because I'm sleeping. I work nights, but this particular day I happened to be awake and I offered to go for her. She works hard and does a lot, so I definitely felt it was necessary to do something for her so she could relax for the day. I took my son with me so she could rest up and take it easy, and it gave me time to spend with my son for some bonding. We completed all the errands which went smooth and then headed to the grocery store to finish up our day. My son, being a typical 4-year-old, was full of energy, running ahead of me, laughing and speaking to everyone he came across, which I generally don't mind as long as he doesn't hit anyone and stays within eye view. As I'm making my way down an aisle looking for canned corn, my son jogs to the end of it when an older lady is entering at the other end. My son, being the sweet social butterfly that he is, approached and said, excited, "Hi, me 4 and me Ryan." Bless his little heart. The lady looked down and says, "Well, hello there. You shouldn't be running around unattended. Let's go find your parents." I didn't think anything of her statement because I assumed she just hadn't seen me. "Ryan, come back here, bud, please." He excitedly runs back towards me and starts turning in circles because, you know, he's 4. I'm still searching the shelves as this lady walks past me and stops behind me. Again, I think nothing of it because it's a grocery store and you have to share the aisles. I turn my basket around and I start to walk towards the front cash registers when this lady literally blocks my path. I say, "Excuse me," and I try to walk around her and she moves her cart in front of me again. I honestly thought she was just getting confused and said, "Excuse me," once again, and I tried one more time to go around and she just blocks my path. The following convo ensues. Sorry about that, but we'll get out of your way." "Oh, I don't think so. You're not going anywhere with that child." "What, you mean my son?" "That's not your child. He's white and you're Mexican. You probably didn't even know his name until he said it to me. Wow, sure, whatever lady, can you move? My wife is at home anxiously waiting for us. Stop your lies, you're not taking him anywhere, you pervert. Oh my god. This whole time my son is standing close to me and holding my leg because he was honestly getting scared. I was getting angry because I hadn't had much sleep and I have a short fuse anyway. As you can see, he's standing close to me because he trusts me and you're scaring him, so how about you buzz off? No, he's scared because of you. He just doesn't know how to express it yet. She looks at my son. Come on now, sweetie, I'm here to rescue you. Come with me. Thankfully, my son was able to communicate to her that he wasn't going anywhere with her, but she was having none of it. She literally grabbed my son and began to run. It caught me off guard because I honestly could not fathom what was actually happening. My son starts screaming loudly because he was so scared, and this lady's like, don't worry, sweetie, he won't hurt you, I promise. Suddenly, I snap back into reality and I begin to chase after this crazy person. While running through the store, I yell for people to stop her and that she's kidnapping my son, and thankfully a worker stops her before she makes the exit. Why are you stopping me? This Mexican here is trying to kidnap my grandson. My son is literally bawling his eyes out and extending his arms out calling for me. This lady was relentless and would not let go. Even after my son slapped her face multiple times, I laughed a little, not gonna lie. At this point, a manager shows up and asks me what's going on. This lady spoke before me. This pervert is trying to kidnap my grandson and I was just trying to escape. That's my son, you psycho. Now let him go. The manager didn't know what to believe. I don't blame him. He was caught in a weird situation. So I pulled out my phone and I showed him pictures of me and my son that dated a year back or so. This lady still would not give up and accused me of faking them. Like, how would you do that? I'll never know, but whatever. Sadly, there were two other ladies there taking the psycho's side and said I was attempting to kidnap my own son because there was no way that we were family because of our different skin tones. One even called the police, which I was actually happy about because I knew they'd be able to review the security cameras. Even still, I called my wife to see if she could come to the store to get this situation cleared up quicker. As soon as I told her what was going on, she zoomed to the store. She got there about the same time as the police. The crazy ladies were giving their statements to the cops when my wife walked in. As soon as she walked in, my son goes, "Mama, help!" My wife is a true mama bear, and she immediately flew into a rage when she saw this lady holding my son. Let him go now. Sorry, sweetie. I was just trying to protect him from this pervert over here. Yeah, we saw him trying to kidnap him, but this lady saved him. The cop looked at the lady and is confused. I thought this was your grandson. Wife, I have no idea who that lady is. She takes out her phone and shows the officer a picture of my mother-in-law. Lady, okay, I'm sorry. He's not my grandson, but I was only trying to protect him from this dirty pervert over here. Lady 2, yeah, I witnessed the whole thing. He snatched that child and tried to run away with him. Lady 3, yeah, I saw it too. He needs to be arrested. And you, pointing to my wife, should be thankful that this lady was here to save your son because you obviously just let him loose wherever. Wife, who are you talking about again? All three crazy ladies pointed at me. Oh, what, you mean my husband? Lady 1, husband? My wife? Yeah, who do you think called me and got me here so fast? I presented my ID to the officer and the manager, and my wife did the same. We also each showed pictures of us on our phones to prove we were really a family. The cops nodded in approval and handed us our phones back and jotted down a few notes. The three ladies for some reason still kept trying to say this was all fake and that my wife was in on the kidnapping and said that we needed to be arrested. My wife lost it at this point and let off some colourful words that I won't repeat, but she definitely got her point across. Then the nail in the coffin came for the psycho trio. The officer turned to the manager and asked, "Officer, sir, do the cameras work here?" Manager, yeah, we have them inside and out. Okay, great, let's go review it. The ladies' faces went pale, like ghostly pale. The officer reviewed the outside camera as I pulled into the parking lot and saw me take my son out of my car, and then as I went up and down the aisles, and most importantly, the instance where the woman snatched up my son and began to run. Upon his return, he asked, "Would you like to press charges?" Lady 1, yes, I would. Officer, why would I be asking you that question? Shut your mouth and sit down. He turns to me and repeats the question. Me, absolutely. Lady 1 was charged with an attempted kidnapping, false imprisonment, providing a false police report, and child endangerment. The two others were also charged with providing a false police report as well. To make matters worse for lady number 1, my son bruises easily and she left some terrible spots on him from where she was grasping him, but he's fine. This added to a charge of child abuse to her rap sheet. I have court later this year, but I'm not sure when because of COVID. The officer will be following up with me in a few weeks. Sorry for the length. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. Once again, how did these people even exist? That's so unbelievably awful. I can't believe people can be like this. And yeah, on that note, it's 100% wholesome memes time. One time in high school, my brother took my car and crashed it, got it fixed and put it back in the driveway all within the 6-hour school day, and he kept it a secret for 4 years. I think think that's the most sibling thing ever. That's so funny. Like, they can never know. It's okay. I got this. It's all fixed up and like new again. Me. Okay, last game and I've got to get off. Dies. Friend. One more. Me. Oh yeah. 1,000,000%, buddy. And probably another game after. Aw, a beautiful kitty cat that's used up 7 of its lives. That's so bloody cute. Like, okay, I'm really gonna try this time. Just a reminder in case your mind is playing tricks on you today. You matter. You're important, you're loved, and your presence on this earth makes a difference, whether you see it or not. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's a good reminder for everybody. And once again, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did, you know what to do. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. And the comment of the day today goes to BR Waters. Stories about Kevin always kind of break my brain with the sheer stupidity of what we read. Like, I'm pretty sure I've lost brain cells processing some of the things that these Kevins have done. Oh my god, I've never agreed with a comment more in my life. Some of it is so unbelievably funny and so unbelievably stupid. Like, how do people even come up with this sort of stuff? But yeah, at the same time, it's so fun, isn't it? Guys, that was really fun. I hope you had a wonderful time. Let me know down below if you did and what you want to see next. And as always, make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!